So the agenda is today for the practical implementation of .NET in .NET Core is called Web API. So I want to make a just lightweight service, as you can consider as a assignment one, where I have taken couple of classes for just understanding the meaning of what exactly .NET Core is and what exactly REST is, a RESTful API, and what is a API. We spend hours of time for only explanation of the working of .NET Core, and today we are in such a good position that we can start the practical implementation. And overall, we have seen .NET as a core, as a .NET Core is basically runs over the a local server. They don't run and they don't dependent over the actual server. It's called internet facing server, and we have seen the mean of OIN. It's just a middleware. It lies in between the castle server and the controller. So OIN is just a package which acts as a middleware. It gives you two major functions, one called configure services and a configure. So there is no theory today, a complete practical implementation, right? Started
Yes, sir.
again now. So first of all, the agenda is today for the .NET Core is basically agenda as a web API, and we are taking this small approach, for making the assignment as a login service. It's just an excuse for understanding the mean of how we can work easily in .NET Core web API environment. So you can take any assignment, any sample. The most important part is, does your sample can you can do easily in this environment or not, right? So it just giving me awareness to how we can work in controller level, how we can work at model level, how we can define the repository, how we can define the services, fine. How we can use the postman, how we can go for migration. If I go for database first approach, how you can go for generating a model as a POCO class. If you go for code first approach, or you can go for generating a database. It just gives you awareness. So if you go for assignment number 2, that's really better. Assignment number 3, more deeper. Assignment number 4, more and more deeper. The last assignment is called Docker for GitHub account for uh, uh, a virtualization concept, right? So I'm dividing your programs, I'm dividing your syllabus into 5 assignments. Best of luck. I'm starting assignment number 1. The subject is a login service. Approach is a code first approach and also database first approach. Best of luck. Now, release the command. Release the command from the developer command prompt is .NET new web API space O for output, and the service name is better. You can give service name is called login service. Login service. Just a basic service for giving the awareness how we can work in .NET Core. So I'm also releasing this command by the .NET command prompt. Fine. No. So open the developer command prompt, choose any proper drive, and making a folder md login. So please follow my folder name is better. Fine. So I'm making a login assignment 1. I just told you I'm splitting the entire syllabus of .NET Core the API and .NET Core complete in 5 assignment. It's a very first assignment today. It's very fundamental assignment. Step assignment 2 will be better, 3 more deeper, fine. So enter. CD login assignment 1. .NET new web API -o, and I'm giving assignment name is login service L capital S capital login service. So I'm creating a RESTful API, right, as a web API, and it will run over the Castor server, and pipeline as a middleware is going in between. Now, so I'm moving to the folder. I'm moving to application folder. It's called login service. Getting everyone? I hope so. So code space dot is a shortcut for opening the VS Code. Just a basic assignment to know what is startup.cs, what is program.cs, what is appsetting.json file, what is your development.json file, what is controller. Just basic assignment, but just having the awareness of this environment. So first of all, create a folder in your environment. It's called model, and ensure it's a root directory, not within someone. Models.
Yes, sir.
Then after, you make a folder. It's called contract. Contract. You add the interface. So choose a new C# interface and give a relevant name is I login service dot cs. So I've taken the interface. Oh, sorry. You should not give the name of the application as the same name of the program or any file. So let me remove first. Let me go for giving a separate another name. I login.cs. So why I have taken the interface? The reason is we can easily segregate the declaration from implementation. So the actual use of interface is you can have list of operations as one place. You can have list of operation at one place, and you can define somewhere. So actually, use of interface means you can segregate the declaration from implementation, and you will expose your interface at controller level. You're not exposing the actual implementation at controller level. So follow the architecture in a project level, right? So I will have two functions here, one for registration, one for login. We'll do after some time. So go to models folder and add a new C# class and give name called membership. Membership.cs, right? And include the namespace for data annotation on the top using system.component model.data annotation. So this namespace is carrying several attributes for defining the key, defining for constraint for like validations and all. Fine. So So I'm giving in chat. So I've taken the key as a data annotation for attributes for defining the primary key in a database table if you go for code first approach. So when the table will be created, you will have the username as a primary key. Fine. Done everyone? I'm expecting you have done.
Sir.
So I'm moving to the interface. So I just told you, don't expose the actual uh, implementable class at the controller. It's better you expose your interface at the controller level, right? So interface is meant for segregating the declaration from implementation, right? As you go to any hotel, you get a menu. So you can place an order by the menu, but you never know who's implementing that order. So it's best way of achieving a segregation principle, right? Now, I will have two functions within the interface, one for registration and one for the login. So first you include the namespace on the top using login service dot models, right? Or you can get by intelligence feature, it will add automatic. So within an interface, every function is by default abstract and by default public. You can't write any function explicitly as a public. If you write, you will get a compile time error. So interface allow only to have properties, indexer, event. Interface can have event. Interface can have properties. Interface can have indexer. Interface can have only abstract functions. So you are supposed to have only four things within the interface: properties, fine, the indexer, the event, and the abstract function. So let me include the two function within the interface. So I've taken two function I'm giving you. I've taken two function within an interface, and my model name is membership. So let me copy this name. I should not want to go any error in the program. It's better I'll just bring copy and paste. Now I'm giving you. So I've taken two function. Both are basically by default scope as a public, and both are abstract function. So I'm giving you the interface. I'm waiting.
Done, sir.
So now close this folder. Now define the service. So go for adding our more folder called service. Service. So add one more folder is called service. This will define as a business logic layer. Fine. So how your class can communicate to, or how your class can implement the interface for defining these two methods for the login and the registration. This act as a business logic layer. Fine. So add a class and give name called user U capital. I have given an S capital. Fine. Dot CS. Now, so I've taken the folder called service and taken file there by user service.cs. Fine. So this now first of all include the uh, proper namespace. First is your using login service dot contract, because I have given the interface within this namespace. Second, you need to have model. So login service dot develop model. So I'm implementing my class from the interface. It's called login. So you click on this yellow and implement the interface. So my class is implementing the interface. It's called iLogin. I'm defining these two methods. So I will use the entity framework for uh, adding a record into database, and I will go for the login validations again against to your the entity framework for database. Done everyone? I hope so.
Yes, sir.
If you want, if you
Yes, sir.
want,
Yes, sir.
I'm giving the complete code. Zoom chat. Given it. I haven't gone for defining the context part for saving a record into backend. Done everyone? Should I move next?
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes, sir.
No. So I'm adding the one more folder is called database part. Fine. So take one more folder is called database and give a name called entity framework. Better entity frame. So I'm using the code first approach. Once the program will run successfully, I will be checking by the postman, then I will go for converting the entire program into database first. So within the entity framework folder, add a file. It's called user context.cs. Right. Done everyone? I am waiting.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So at this time, I want I have just told you yesterday, I want 4 packages for interacting to database using entity framework for code first or database first. So come back to the terminal window. Come back to terminal window. Fine. Now. So .NET. I'm moving bits slow. Fine. .NET add package. I'm giving all the package name. You can do same time also. Given. So .NET add package, Microsoft dot entity framework. Microsoft dot entity framework code. Done. So go for next one. So dot SQL server. Don't write again. Just go for using a shortcut up key and down key and to find dot and add package Microsoft dot entity framework core dot SQL Server, enter. Now go for third package. Again, you go for getting the previous one. Don't write again. So remove the SQL Server and use tools. Tools package for migration. Fine. Again, you recover the previous one and go for the design. So I added 4 packages. Fine. I hope everyone has done.
Yes, sir.
No. So
Yes, sir. Done.
now include the namespace on the top using Microsoft.entity, a framework core. So this namespace is carrying the class called DB context, DB set, and DB context option. So initially we require 3 classes to communicate to database. Initially I require 3 classes to communicate to database for completion of task, right? So I'm not creating an object of DB context class explicitly in my context class. The reason is this DB context class is having several virtual functions. So I need to go for inheritance. We can override according to my needs and convenient. If I go for creating an instance of DB context class, I can't override those methods. I don't want to go for containership. I want to go for inheritance model, right? DB context. DB context class is basically having a function for transaction. Is called save changes function there, and DB context class can point to database, right? So DB context class, the role of DB context class, it recalls me a SQL command class in Azure.NET. So by this class, you can go for a final changes the data, final saving the record into backend. It acts as a SQL command class. And there we have a function, there we had a function called execute non-query for insert, update, delete. So in DB context class, we have the function called save changes for insert, update, and delete. So now add one more, take constructor user context. This is default constructor, right? Now. So second more important class is DB set. So DB set, again, it recalls me the Azure.NET called data table class. Fine. So DB set class is basically for local manipulations, and DB set class can point to table. And DB set is basically a generic class. So if you want to work for manipulation, you want to go for lambda expression, you want to go for link expression, you want to go for any local manipulation, so we go for a DB set. It just remember me. It just recalls me again the disconnected data architecture in Azure.NET. There we have data table class, data view class, and data set class. So I will go for DB set. It's a generic class. DB set is a generic class. Fine. So DB set is a generic class. Fine. And this class needs your model. So we have to include the model using login service dot models. So go for a membership. And now you make an object of this class, but object should not be public. So we have to follow the rule of encapsulation. It's called properties. This is called get and set. So make an object. So what object you will give for DV set? Now it will make a table in database. Clear? So DV set class takes parameter of model and then you go for giving a object of this class. And when you go for code first approach, so what object name you are providing at this point, it will make a table for that object. So I'm giving a table name is called user as an object. So why I'm saying a table, because this user object become the table when you go for code first approach. An object should not be exposed as a public. It's better you can go for wrapper. It's called kit and set. So maintain the encapsulation because object variable should not be public. So we make a wrapper by the properties. So now DV set is a generic class. This class takes the model as a parameter and what object name you are providing for this class. So when you go for code first approach,